Hey, what's up, weirdos? Welcome back into Movement Parallels Life. My name is Kellen Mylad, and today we're exploring 20 movements in 20 minutes. Before we get started, let me just set the stage for you. So, this is one of my favorite styles of practice for YouTube because we're going to go through a broad range of different movements that are going to promote mobility, strength, and skill. And the movements are different than traditional exercises. Frankly, they're a little weird, hence why I call us weirdos. And I want you to lean into that. I want you to explore these movements on your terms and go with what feels best for your body. My goal in these videos is to give you a space where you can move differently. I want to give you a clear demonstration of the movement and some verbal cues to help guide where to put your attention. At the same time, I don't want you to feel like you need to be constantly glued to the screen or imitating exactly how I'm moving. This is your practice. Listen to your body and move like you. Towards the end of each 60-second interval, you can check the screen for a preview of the movement that's coming up next. So here we go. We're starting the practice with supine lateral reaching. Lie on your back with your arms open and create some tension to hold yourself to the floor. Lay your knees from side to side and extend your top leg out away from your body. The active reach of your leg creates the stretch, then use strength to draw your leg back in and switch sides. In addition to reaching with your legs, you might also like rolling laterally and reaching with your arms, allowing your shoulders to lift off the ground. Feel free to wiggle around to change your orientation and explore reaching at different angles to find the stretch that feels best for you. Last 10 seconds. Up next, we've got supine tucked rocking. Okay, now come back to middle. Tuck your knees to your chest and give yourself a little hug as you round your spine. Start to build some momentum into a gentle rocking action, allowing the ground to massage your back. You might also try rocking up to a stall, holding the balance on your glutes for several seconds. And from this sitting position, you can rock back at a slight angle to begin adding rotation to the movement. Feel the movement like a controlled fall, connecting with the contractions of your upper and lower abdominals to drive a smooth rocking action. When you get to your next balancing sit, maybe try this opposite toe touch. Last 10 seconds with rocking. Next up, we've got supine squirming. All right, return to your back, place your feet flat on the floor, and next we're going to explore wiggling and squirming movements, basically moving around on your back without the use of your hands. Rather than thinking of this as an exercise with an exact form, let this be intuitive with a lot of shoulder and spinal movements. Move around your space by flexing your spine from side to side, rolling your shoulders, and walking with your feet. Use your past experience or even just your imagination to give this movement some context. It might be playing with your kids, practicing jujitsu, or trying to crawl under a low obstacle. Last few seconds of squirming around. Next up, we've got a hip bridge single leg pulse. Settle in on your back with the soles of your feet on the floor, walk your shoulder blades together, and bring some tension to your midsection to stabilize your body. Press your hips up into a bridge and begin with an alternating march, drawing one thigh in towards your chest. If you're feeling strong in the march, try a single leg bridge pulse, switching legs every 5 reps or so. Work with any variation of the hip bridge that's right for you and allows you to connect with the activation in your glutes and hamstrings. Last 10 seconds before we move on. Next up, we've got rolling bridge reaches. Take a moment to reset, and then we're on to rolling reaches. Roll to one shoulder and reach diagonally across your body, extending through your fingertips to find the stretch. Exhale through the reach. As you reverse, inhale and feel your back reconnect with the ground before rolling over to the other side. Stay present with each rep and use your imagination to expand your range of motion. Envision yourself trying to extend to touch an object that's just out of your reach. Feel the way that your body opens into extension with each reach and then closes into flexion. Final seconds with our rolling reaches. Next, we're moving on to side bridge lifts. Okay, now roll onto your side and set up a strong forearm support. Keep your knees stacked and your hips slightly flexed. Press into the floor to lift your hips and also lift your top leg as high as you can. As you lift your hips off the floor, also feel them push forward into extension. Pause at the top of each lift, perform about 5 repetitions, then swing your hips around to switch sides. Keep working these alternating sets of 5 for the next 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds with side bridges. Next, we've got a side sit switch push-up combination. Okay, let's move on. Slide your bottom leg forward and rise up to a side sit position. Start off here with an easy hip-to-hip switch. Swing your back leg forward, spin on your glutes, and easily flow from side to side. Next, plant your hands in front, extend your legs back to a plank position, and perform 3 push-ups. Hold the bottom of your last push-up, rotate and slide your opposite leg across to return to side sit. 3 hip switches, 3 push-ups. Keep flowing through this combination for 30 more seconds. Final 10 seconds. Next up, we've got crawling pass unders. Now make your way into a foot hand crawl position, elevate your hips and enjoy the stretch. Now lift one hand and step your opposite leg across and underneath your body, coming into an inverted crawl position. Hold for a moment, then reverse the path and return to the high hip crawl. As you alternate from side to side, breathe with the movement and pay attention to the balance of tension and relaxation. The tension to stay strong and stable on your opposite hand-foot base. The relaxation to move smoothly through the rotation. Keep flowing for 30 more seconds. Ten more seconds of pass unders. Next, we're going to flow through a rock up into a deep squat. Perform one more pass under to come into the inverted position, then lower your hips to the floor and begin rocking back and forth. Keep your spine flexed and core braced. Start to generate enough momentum to rock up onto your feet into a squat or deep knee bend. If you can't quite make it up into the squat position, try modifying by using your hands or switching to a figure 4 rock up. After several rock ups, try holding your deep squat position and moving around your space. Take about 30 more seconds to explore the rock up and the deep squat. Don't move into pain or make it too much of a struggle. Modify your movements to accommodate your current level of mobility. Final 10 seconds, and next we're on to inverted bridge reaches. Okay, now settle into an inverted crawl position. Shift your weight over to one arm, rotate to stack your shoulders, lift your hips, and extend your free arm into an arcing reach. Exhale through the reach, inhale through the transition, alternating from side to side. For a more dynamic movement, try this spinning transition. Begin in a one-arm inverted position, shift weight forward into your feet, and windmill swing your free arm across your body. While you're in the air, turn your head to spot the ground and plant your swinging arm. Final seconds here. Next up, we've got figure 4 get-ups. Okay, let's move on. Return to the inverted crawl position and then sit your hips to the floor. With bent knees, tuck one leg underneath the other to come into a figure 4 leg position. Then rock back and use your momentum to rock up to a half kneeling base. Then straighten out your back leg, root into the ground, and rise up to standing to complete the get up. Reverse the movement by lowering down to your knee, pivoting your back leg inward and softly sitting down to your glutes before you rock back and repeat. Final 10 seconds, and then we're going to meet it standing and transition into multiplane lunges. Perform one more get up to return to standing and flow right into alternating lunges. Move forward diagonally and laterally, explore as many different angles as possible. Find strength and stability at the bottom of each lunge. Find balance and fluidity as you navigate the footwork and work within your pain-free range of motion. Keep going for 30 more seconds. Final 10 seconds with these lunges. Next up, we've got sprawls. All right, on to our sprawl and lateral creep combination. Start off in a crouch position, plant your hands, jump your legs back, and lower down to your stomach. Pop up onto your feet, reach out to the side, plant your hands, push into the ground, and jump laterally across your mat. Start slowly to explore how you can blend these two movements, then gradually increase the intensity. As always, I encourage you to keep it playful and diverse, explore your space, and bring your movement into all planes. Final 10 seconds. Next up, we've got scorpion rollovers. Okay, on to scorpion rolls. Lower down to your stomach. Bend one knee, lift your leg, and reach across your body to roll over. If it feels good for you, try pressing up and lifting your hips into a bridge reach. Then lower your hips, lean to the side of your straight leg, softly bringing your chest down to the floor before rolling over to the other side. Once again, start slowly so that you can feel the sequence of the movement, then gradually add more speed and flow. Final 10 seconds. Next, we're going to be on to crawling. Next, you'll be crawling around your space, alternating between foot, hand, and inverted variations. As you crawl, stay low and long and focus on opposite hand-foot steps. Focus on deep breathing as you move forwards and backwards. Switch between the two patterns anytime to stay fresh. Keep on crawling for 10 more seconds. Next, we'll slow things down with a figure 4 hip stretch. Let's move on to the figure 4 hip stretch. Start in a seated or an inverted crawl position. Lift one leg and place it across your opposite knee. You can simply hold the stretch there or rotate your body and lay your hips to the side to come into a crossover sit stretch. Listen to your body and don't go too far too fast with this one. Create active strength and stability by flexing the foot and engaging the hip. This is going to help protect your knee through the stretch. Hold the stretch for as long as you'd like, alternating from side to side for the next 30 seconds. Final 10 seconds. On deck, we've got crawling lunges. We can make the transition here from the crossover sit by posting a hand and sliding the bottom leg straight back. This will bring us into the crawling lunge stretch. Create length from the crown of your head all the way down to your back heel. Breathe deeply and pulse into the stretch. When you're ready, step your leg back, sit your hips back towards your heels, holding the stretch for a moment, then switch sides. Play around with the transitions any way you like and explore the different angles of the stretch to find what feels best for your body. Final 10 seconds before we move on, just 3 intervals to go. Next, we've got wide stance squat shifting. From your last crawling lunge, rotate outward 90 degrees to come into a wide squat and begin shifting from side to side. You might choose to stay hinged at the hips with your hands in contact with the floor, or come upright and perform these alternating side bends. Focus on staying strong and stable in your deep squat while staying relaxed enough to breathe deeply and smoothly shift your weight from side to side. From there, I encourage you to explore any variations of twisting, reaching, or arcing that feel good for you. Final 10 seconds, 2 intervals left to go. Next, we've got hinged windmill reaches. Maintain your wide stance, but now straighten your legs and hinge forward at your hips. Maintain a long spine. If necessary, bolster your hands with blocks or on the seat of a chair. Maintain a braced core as you plant one hand and rotate through your shoulders, taking your opposite arm into an overhead reach. Pause and take a moment to breathe, feeling the length running through your body vertically and horizontally. To integrate some extra strength work, take your hands away from the ground and work wide stance hip hinges. Final 10 seconds of windmill reaches before we finish up our practice with spinal articulation. You can start to heel-toe your feet into a more narrow stance, and we'll finish up our practice with some soft and relaxed spinal movements. Start off with a soft shoulder roll and feel the gentle twisting in your body. Gradually begin expanding the movement, feel the figure 8 motion as well as the rounding and opening of your spine. You might begin to bring in some global flexion and extension by reaching overhead, extending your spine, and then bringing your arms down, tucking your chin, and rounding your spine down one vertebrae at a time. Take 30 more seconds to breathe and flow. Continue moving smoothly through your spine as you transition down to hands and knees for these last few seconds. That's time and our practice is complete. Excellent job. Now just take a few moments to sit and check in. How do you feel? Listen to the echoes of the movement in your body. Think back on the practice and maybe take away just one or two pieces that really felt good for you today and continue to explore and practice those throughout the week. I appreciate you coming through to move with me today. If you enjoyed this session, please hit the like button and check out the links in the description. Take good care of yourself, stay weird, and I'll see you in the next practice.